이 가정연합은
Family Federation, the flag of Family Federation for
창조주
Walking
하늘
and Unification
부모님께서 이
symbolizes
지상을
the
내려다보실 때
ideal of God, the Creator, as He created
이
heaven and
기가
earth.
휘날리고
And
있는
when God looks down on
곳에
the earth,
먼저
wherever this flag is
눈이
waving,
갈까요?
God
안
will
갈까요?
look lovingly at every place where you find the Family
이
Federation flag.
플래그가
And this
세워진
flag,
교회마다
in every church where you have
우리의
this flag,
창조주 하늘 부모님께서는
Heavenly Parent, our
여기에
Creator,
내
will say,
사랑하는
my beloved
자녀들이
children
있구나
are
하면서
gathered
더
there,
큰 복을
and God
내려주실
will give
것입니다.
greater blessings to this church.
그래서 이 기가
Therefore,
얼마나
this flag
하늘 부모님의 사랑을 받는 인류
is
한 가족의
a
꿈을
symbol
이룰
of
수 있는
God's
것입니다.
love, and we
여러분
can all
사랑하세요.
realize the ideal of one family under God. I love you all.
The whole city of Refuge says thank you, thank you, thank you again. Put your hands together, give her a round of applause and thank God for her being here with us. Peace begins with me. Thank God, Mother Moon. Thank God. We celebrate you, Dr. Haq Jahan Moon. But there's a scripture that came to mind in Acts chapter 17, verse 26 says, and God hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and hath determined the time before appointed and the bonds of their habitation. The conceptualization of God is idiosyncratic. And when I say that, I mean that each individual has a concept of God that can't be duplicated or imitated. It does not matter where you go to church. My father said to me once, he said the most segregated place on a Sunday is church. And he was speaking within the confines of Christianity. He was not including any other religion. He was just simply saying that the most segregated place. As a Christian, I understand Jesus' statement that ye shall all know that ye are my disciples by your love one towards another. And it is significant because one of the things that has happened over the years is that we have expostulated faith at the expense of love. We have expostulated faith to the point where it all just centered around financial and material blessings. And because of the material blessings that some of us have achieved, we said to the others that if you had our faith, you would have what we have. So consequently, because you don't have the faith, why should I suffer for your benefit when you didn't have the faith to achieve what it is that you needed to achieve for yourself? But we miss the point, because Jesus says the poor will have with us always. And there are certain people who will always need our help and our love. And there are certain people who will always need us to come together to make their lives better. So my conceptualization of God is not one that is closed. My conceptualization of God is open enough to understand that God raises up people. And I believe without a doubt that God raised up Dr. Haq Jahan Moon for no other purpose than to bring us all together. And I'm just believing God. Now, in many circles, you have to fight the limited conceptualization that certain people have about how huge God is. I don't have that problem. God, to me, has put us all in this earth, and he expects us all to live together, and he expects us to live in peace. And we've got to turn our backs to all the violence. And I just believe we have enough people in this house to turn the world upside down. I need somebody to holler, peace begins with me. One blood. We're all in his image. I have seen black Cadillacs, white Cadillacs, pink Cadillacs. I've seen yellow Cadillacs. I've seen all kind of colors of Cadillacs, but they all were Cadillacs. It doesn't matter what your color is, you're in the image of God. And we ought to love one another. We have the Mother of Peace video. I want to introduce that now.
Peace in those days was at best a dream. Communism was on the rise, and as a devout Christian family, we knew we needed to escape south. The distance between my hometown and the 38th parallel was over 200 kilometers. Heading south was not only forbidden, it was almost impossible. There were no good roads, and they plowed the rice fields in a way that was impassable. You couldn't travel by day, and because of the night police, it was dangerous to go at night. Finally, the 38th parallel came into view. I remember it so vividly. I saw a young woman run across the border as if she was escaping death. But our family could not run like that because I was only 6 years old and we were exhausted. By then, I had caught a cold and desperately needed water. So my grandmother went to fetch some from the locals. The police were everywhere, and as I was drinking, they found us. Because we were just women, they did not expect us to defy them. The officer told us, "Go back to your hometown." But after walking 200 kilometers, there was no turning back. So, at the risk of our lives, that very night, we crossed the border. It feels just like yesterday. The first time I met my husband, I knew he was an incredible man. He carried the burdens of the world on his shoulders.
Since my encounter with Jesus, I lived my life with just one thought. I wanted to bring about a world of peace, a world where there are no wars and where all humankind lives in love.
We were given an incredible cross to bear to fulfill our mission from God. The road to peace has been so hard, it felt virtually impossible to reach our goal. But this is how we lived, day and night. Since my husband's passing, our dream to serve God lives on. I can see the finish line within reach. Just like the police that tried to stop me from crossing the border, some may say that it is not possible. But I am absolutely determined to bring about a world of peace within my lifetime.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and welcome the speaker of the hour, Mother of Peace, Dr. Hak Jahan Moon.
today I wish to speak with you on the topic of God's providence
기독교의
from
사랑과
the responsibility of Christianity
책임입니다.
and the responsibility of the United States.
2000년 전
2,000 years ago,
예수 그리스도께서
Jesus Christ
독생자로
came
오셨지만
on the earth as God's only begotten
이루지
Son.
못하셨습니다.
Unfortunately,
십자가에
he could not
돌아가시려
fulfill
다시
his mission.
오하였습니다.
He prophesied that he would come again, and
기독교는
afterwards,
성령의 부활로
through the work of the Holy Spirit
사도들에 의해서
and through the work of the apostles,
성령이 씌워짐으로 해서
Christianity began, and through
기독교
the Bible,
문화권이 넓혀져 갔습니다.
Christianity
그러나
expanded,
초기에는
and the Christian cultural realm expanded throughout the world.
많은
However, in
반대를
the early
받았습니다.
days of the church, Christianity was tremendously persecuted. Unimaginable difficulties had to be overcome.
313년에
Christianity spread to the European continent, going from the Italian peninsula to the European mainland, and centering on
선교사들이 세계로 나갑니다.
the United Kingdoms. Christian missionaries
그러나
went throughout the
그들은
world. Unfortunately,
예수님의
these
본질을
Christian
몰랐습니다.
missionaries failed to understand the essence of
창조주
Jesus.
하나님께서
God the Creator
창조 원칙을
created
어떻게
heaven and earth
세워놓으시고
according to His
섭리하셨는지도
principle.
몰랐습니다.
However, these missionaries neither understood God's
예수님의
principle of
가르침은
creation nor the
내
principles
이웃을
through which He
내
led
몸같이
the
사랑해라
providence.
하였지만
Jesus said, "Love your neighbor as yourself."
그리스도의 이름으로 나간
Unfortunately,
선교사들은
these missionaries who went in the name of Christ
자국의 이익을
practiced
우선으로 하는
selfishness, placing the interests of their nations ahead
말하자면은
of living for the sake of
베푸는
others.
사랑이 아니라
In other words,
빼앗아오는
rather than
문화로
living for others,
전락하게
sacrificing
됩니다.
for others, they established a culture of exploitation and taking
17
away
세기에
from others. And that is why in the 17th
킹
century,
제임스의
the Hebrew
영어로
Bible
번역되면서
was translated into English
많은
through
평신도들이
King James,
말씀을 접하게 됩니다.
and commoners could now access the Bible and read the Bible for themselves.
그동안은
And until now, many
인간적인
failed to understand
사고방식,
the essence of Jesus, and as a
인간이
result,
만들어 놓은 굴레 속에
secular understandings,
신앙을
secular
강요하다 보니
customs were emphasized even among
잘못을
religious believers.
만들어냈습니다.
And as a result, we know of the many
하나님을
mistakes
믿는다는
that were made.
기독교권에서
How is it possible
하나님이
that in the
죽었다
Christian
하는
cultural realm,
공산주의가
communism,
나왔습니다.
which claims that God is dead, could emerge?
이것은
This
인간의
is
잘못입니다.
a human error. At that time, regular
틀에 박힌
believers
신앙생
did not
내
wish
가정에서
to practice a secular faith.
창조주
They
하나님을
wanted to
모시는
worship God and Jesus
생활을 해야 되겠다
freely in
하여
their own homes. And wishing to
새로운
freely worship God, they
천지로
sailed
신대륙으로
to a new
이주하게 됩니다.
continent, to
그것이
this continent
오늘날의
of America.
미국의 탄생입니다.
And this is the genesis of today's America.
바로
However,
알지는
even
못했습니다.
they could not understand the essence
당신의
of
형상을
Jesus.
따라
Originally,
만물을
God created
창조하셨다
heaven
했습니다.
and earth after
그리고
His
인간
image,
조상이
in
될
His
수 있는
image. And
아담과
God
하와를
created Adam and
창조하셨습니다.
Eve so that they could become the
인간에게는
first human ancestors.
책임을
And
주셨습니다.
to human beings, God
성장
gave
기간을 통해서
a period of responsibility,
절대적으로
so that through a
하나님과
period of growth, Adam
하나
and
된
Eve
자리에서
were meant to
성장하여
grow in
완성을
absolute oneness
보아야
with
합니다.
God and become
그러나
fruitful.
성장
However,
과정에서
during their period of
아담,
growth, Adam and Eve
자기를 돌아보게 되었고
became
욕심이 생겼습니다.
self-centered and allowed greed to
그것이
consume them.
오늘날의
And that is
타락한
the
인류
cause of fallen
하나님께서는
humanity today. God, through our human
인간의
ancestors, wished to become the heavenly parent, the true parents of humanity.
아담과 헤아가
And
망쳐버렸습니다.
Adam and Eve, through their fall,
그러나
completely
창조주 하나님께서
derailed God's original ideal.
창조 원칙에
However,
영성을
God
두고
has created the
창조하셨기에
universe in accordance with His principle,
원치 않은
and that is why
수고로우신
God has had
한감
to go
복귀
through
섭리를
the
하실
unwanted
수밖에
yet painful
없었습니다.
history of the
그것이
providence of
성경에서
restoration
말하는
through indemnity.
이스라엘 민족이라는
And
선민을
in
택하여
the Bible, it is written that God raised the people of
기나긴
Israel,
세월을 통해서
and over a long period of
모든
4,000
것을
biblical years,
평감한 자리에서
in a position of having
국가적
indemnified all
기반이
everything
조성될 수 있는
until a
자리에
national foundation
나오기까지
could be established.
기다리시어
God waited
예수 그리스도를
and finally
보내주셨습니다.
sent His only begotten Son, Jesus
독생자
Christ.
내 아들이다
And
하셨습니다.
God said, He is my Son, my beloved Son.
그러나
However,
마리아 사가랴 가정
whether the
유대교
family
이스라엘
of Zechariah or the Jewish
예수님한테
leaders of the
책임을
time,
못했습니다.
they failed to unite with Jesus. They did not fulfill
예수님을
their
통해서
responsibility. Through
창조주 하나님께서
Jesus, God the
당신의
Creator
꿈을 이루려
wished
하셨는데
to realize His dream, His ideal.
또다시
But once again, God had to face a
결과를
painful
보시는
history of suffering.
하늘의 아픔이
And
얼마나
heaven's
컸는지
suffering was tremendous.
예수님은 아십니다.
Jesus knows.
그리하여
And that is why
할 수만 있다면 이
He
잔을
said, if it were possible to allow this cup
그러나
to pass away
아버님
from me.
뜻대로 하옵소서 했습니다.
However, Jesus said, not as I will, but as thou wilt.
또 한 번 인류는
Once again, humanity
하늘에 속죄할 수 없는
failed
슬픔을
to unite
안겨주었습니다.
with God's providence, and once again
창조
heaven
원칙에
had to endure tremendous suffering.
남자와 여자를 창조했습니다.
When God
그렇다면
created humankind, God
예수님께서는
created a man and a woman.
십자가에
Therefore,
돌아가시며 다시
Jesus, He
그러나
prophesied
오늘날의
that He would come
기독교인들은
again.
십자가의
Christians
보혈로
today
구원을 받는다고
believe that
말합니다.
they are saved by the blood that Jesus shed on the cross.
이 얼마나
Think about
하늘
it.
섭리와 거리가 먼
From God's or heaven's
자리입니까?
providential perspective,
그러나 하늘은
how distant. are
영원성을
we?
두고
However,
창조하셨기에
since God created
예수님께서
humankind for
다시
eternity,
오마하셨고
Jesus
다시
prophesied
와서는
that He would come
어린
again,
양 잔치를
and He
한다고
would come
하셨으니
again to host
오늘날의
the marriage
기독교는
wedding of the Lamb.
누구를 기다려야
And
합니까?
therefore, who should Christianity wait for today? Prior to waiting for the
어머니가
true
되실
parents,
분을 만나야
we
합니다.
need to meet the only begotten daughter, the person to become the true mother. And
역사를
when
통해서
Jesus
어떤
was
탄감을
crucified,
치렀습니까?
we've learned through history the
우리는
tremendous
잘
indemnity
알고 있습니다.
that the people of Israel have had to endure.
하늘이 선택하여 세운
And God raised
중심 인물이나
central
나라가 책임
figures
못할
and
때는
nations, and when they fail in their responsibilities, heaven
또 다민을
begins
찾아
a new
세우십니다.
dispensation by raising another
그것이
chosen people. And
오늘
today,
비디오를 통해서 보았듯이
through the video, just as you saw through the video,
한국에서 1943년에
in
독생녀가
1943,
탄생했습니다.
I was born as the only begotten daughter. And
내
in
의지로서,
1960, out of
내
my own
의사로서
volition, out of my own decision,
결정할 수 있는 때가
I
되었기에
decided that since the propitious
1960
time
년에
had come, in 1960,
참 부모 자리에
I ascended
올랐습니다.
to the position of true parent.
타락한 인류는
Fallen
하나님을
humanity
그리워하나
yearns to return
하나님
to God's
앞으로
bosom.
나아갈 수 없습니다.
However, by themselves,
왜냐하면
they cannot return to God because
타락으로
due to the fall,
하나님의 혈통이 아닌 사탄의
human beings
혈통을
are born
가졌기에
with the fallen lineage of Satan.
오직 참
And therefore,
부모만이
it is only true
축복을
parents
통해서
through the blessing
하나님의
that
아들 딸로
the change of
다시
blood lineage
중생 부활
can take place
시켜주실
and
수밖에
fallen humanity
없는 유일한
can
분이기
be born
때문입니다.
again as God's beloved children. And true parents bring this blessing to humanity. And had
기독교 기반이
Christian leaders understood
환경권이
the
되어
blessing
주었어야
and the
했습니다.
mission of true parents,
그때 당시
they would have
기독교는
become a foundation for
세계적인
true
입장에서
parents.
보더라도
At that time,
한국이 신령과
Korea
진리로서
was
대단히
filled with the
강했습니다.
Spirit and the truth.
어려운 환경에 있었기에
Because
더군다나
Korea was in such a difficult
메시아를
situation,
기다렸습니다.
Koreans believed in the returning
그러한
Messiah.
간절한 소망
And
앞에
with such
하늘은
an earnest
참
desire,
부모를 탄생시켰으나
sent and
과거의
gave birth to
전쟁
true parents.
예수 그리스도를
However,
탄생시킨
Just as in the time of
그
Jesus
민족 또한
2,000 years ago,
알지
the
못했기에
people of Korea failed to recognize true parents.
예수님께서는
And just as
십자가로 나갈
Jesus
수밖에
had no
없었습니다.
choice but to walk
그러나
the
참
miserable
부모는
path of the cross, true parents had to endure
기독교가
unsurmountable
반대하는 환경에서
opposition and difficulties.
뿌리를 내려
Yet, despite
그때부터
tremendous
축복,
Christian
결혼,
opposition, true
참가적
parents
운동을
marched forward
50년
with
가까이
the true
전
family
세계적으로 해오고
values
있습니다.
movement. And over the past 50 years, true parents have been blessing multitudes around the world.
이제는 때가 되었습니다.
The propitious time has come.
더 이상 우리는 주저할 수 없습니다.
We can no longer
전
wait. We
세계적으로
cannot
일어나고
sit
있는
idly.
모든
All around the
해결할
world,
수 없는 인간의 능력과 힘으로는
we cannot
해결할 수 없는
solve
많은
the
문제들이 있습니다.
problems afflicting today's
인종의
world
벽,
with
종교의 벽,
human
문화의
power
벽,
alone.
사상의
Problems of
벽.
race, problems of ideology,
많은 벽들이
problems
있습니다.
of religious
거기다
theory.
인간의 무지로 인해서
So many
많은
problems. And also due to
공해.
human ignorance, pollution,
현실을
we can see countless life forms. We can see
참
countless
자녀의
creations
입장으로서
suffering.
그냥 보고만
And
있을
as
수
God's
없습니다.
beloved children, we cannot sit idly and
그렇습니까?
watch God's creation suffer. Isn't that so? Don't you agree? Let us
자국의
overcome
이익만을
selfishness.
생각하는
Let us overcome
나라는
placing national interests first. Any
결국은
nation that places its interests
그
ahead
생존이
of the
한계가
public
있게 되는
interests
것입니다.
will find limitations
어떻게
in
해서든지
surviving.
서로 힘을 합쳐서
Because
공의가
there
될
is
수 있는
strength in
그런
unity,
것들을
in working together. If
제거하는데
we work together,
하나가
if the
되어서
nations of the world unite as
노력해야
one
되는데
and
전
make
세계적으로
efforts,
많은
we can solve
단체들이 지구 환경
today's
문제와
problem.
오직
When
한 길,
we are selfish, there is no solution.
참
Solutions
부모를
come
통해서 축복받은
from
축복
one way.
가정들만이 그
It is
답입니다.
blessed families who receive true parents' blessing, who can bring about the change that is needed and the answers that are needed.
한 나라입니다.
America was blessed by God,
이 기독교 문화를 통해서
and through the culture of
박수
Christianity.
주세요.
Yes, please let us give a round of applause. America was blessed by God.
세계를 구하고자 하셨습니다.
And
본래
God blessed America
이
with the
나라에는
intent
원주민이
of
살고 있었습니다.
saving the world
그러나 하늘은
through America.
청교도들의 편을
And
들어주시오.
there were
짧은 기간 안에 200년이
originally there were people
세대지
living in
않는
America, but when the Puritans came,
그 기간에
they
세계에
professed
민주주의
that they
중심
wanted
국가로
to worship God
축복하셨습니다.
freely, and God blessed America such that in a short period of 200 years, America became the representative
그것은
democratic
미국만을 위한
nation of
축복이
the world.
아닙니다.
However, God did not bless America for America to keep its blessings to
먼저도
itself.
말했듯이
As I
하늘의
mentioned
축복
before,
앞에는
when God
책임이 있다고
blesses
말했습니다.
a nation or a person, there is a
미국을
responsibility.
축복하신
God
하늘은
blessed
세계
America
인류를
so that
품고자
America
하셨기
could live
때문입니다.
for the sake of the world and embrace all of humanity.
그러나 이 나라의 최고 지도자나 세계의 모든
And,
나라의 지도자들은
Whether the highest leader of this nation
자국의
or the leaders from
자기를
around the world,
중심한
as long as the
정치와 행동을
leaders
하고 있습니다.
act in a way
그래서는
that they place the
미래에
interests
희망이
of their
없습니다.
nations first, as long as they're motivated by selfishness,
오늘
there will be
여기
no future.
축복받은
Therefore,
사람들로 인해서
all of you beloved blessed families who received the blessing
이들이
today,
각자
it is my hope
종족
that
메시아의
all of
책임을
you
하며
can become
나아가서
successful heavenly tribal
여기에
messiahs. And in fulfilling that
참석하신 성직자
responsibility,
여러분들이
all of you
여러분의
beloved
교회에서
clergy members who are here today
메시아의 책임을
become
다하여
messiahs to your
하루속히
churches
이 나라가
so that this
이
nation
나라의
can quickly
하늘 부모님,
become a nation
창조주
that
하나님을
attends
모시는 운동을
God
해야 할
as the
것입니다.
heavenly parent. Let us initiate a movement where we worship God in our families and in our churches.
그 길만이
It is only
하늘이
when we
미국을
worship and attend
축복하신
God
미국이
in our
하늘
families
앞에
that
책임을
America,
다하는
blessed by God,
결과가 되는
can
것입니다.
fulfill
그리하여
its responsibility.
하늘 부모님의 꿈,
In
인류의
so
소원,
doing, we can realize God's dream, the wish of humanity,
부모님을
which
중심한
is
인류
one
한 가족,
family of humanity
지상
under God.
천국의 그
We can
꿈을
realize
실현하는
the dream of the
오늘이-
kingdom of
오늘이
heaven on earth.
출발되는 날인
And
것입니다.
today is the day that dream begins. And as
가정연합의
you know,
조직은
when we look at Family
오지구로
Federation, the West
나누어졌습니다.
Coast area is
이제
part of the
이
fifth
오지구가
sub-region. Therefore,
불이 붙었습니다.
I
그렇습니까?
know that the fifth sub-region is on fire. Isn't that so?
이 불길을
Therefore,
중부로,
I hope
동부로
that this fire will expand to
붙이겠습니까?
the
그리하여
Midwest,
이 나라를
all the way to the East Coast,
하늘 부모님이
so that this nation
사랑하는 나라로
can become the
만들
nation
것입니까?
that God loves. Will you do so?
고맙습니다.
Oh, thank you very much.
나는 여러분의
I
결심을 믿습니다.
believe in your resolve and your determination. The path to a world
총칼이
of
필요합니까?
peace is not a world where we need weapons.
평화로 가는 세계에는
The path to a world of
총이나
peace is not
핵이나
a
그런
world,
것이
a
필요
path
없습니다.
where we need weapons. We do not need arms. We do not need knives.
그것으로 인해 죄 없는 우리의
Due to
어린
weapons.
싹들이
Due to the misuse of these
죽어가고
weapons,
있는
we can see
사실을
young
여러분은
innocent
알 것입니다.
lives dying every
보고만
day.
있을 수 없습니다.
We can no longer allow this
어떻게
to
해야
continue.
되겠습니까?
What shall we do?
참 사랑,
Let us practice true love.
이 축복을
Let us
통해서만이
spread true
가능합니다.
love. Let us spread the blessing.
노엘 존스 목사님 부탁합니다.
my beloved
이
Bishop
불을
Noel
계속
Jones.
붙여주십시오.
Please continue.
감사합니다.
Are we the peacemakers? Are we the peacemakers? So, Mother, this morning awoke from prayer with a message from God to give you a very special gift. Okay? This is a Family Federation flag. It's going to be brought on by Dr. Kim with all flair and fancy. Woo! Yes. Yes. Please give it up. But there's more. There's more. Mother also has a special gift for 3 of our spiritual leaders, starting with Bishop Noel Jones. I'd also like to invite back to the stage Dr. Luan Rouse, co-chair of ACLC, and the great Reverend Mark Abernathy. Please make your way to the stage. Take a beautiful photo together. Thank you all very much.